Alrighty, the next chapter, I guess you can call it. We've got here a 66 Dodge Phoenix. It's just basically the same as a Plymouth Fury. I think the dash is a wee bit different. The seats might be a little bit different. Just bought it home today, about an hour ago. It was last registered in here in Tasmania in 2013, and it's one of its last uses was for a charity car run thing, what they call it, variety bash or something like that. And unfortunately it's had some strange things bolted to it, hence the holes in the boot lid, or the trunk lid, and hence the hole in the bonnet. And they had apparently had a big massive air cleaner hanging out of it. The guy bought it a wee while after that. Was sitting somewhere that had another motor in it, because the original motor had been pulled out of it because it was obviously got a bit tired. I think they tried to get it running. It must have had a stuck valve or something, the story goes, and it'd been a push rod or something. So they put another V8 out of a Holden, I think, which is a GM product over here. Unfortunately, so I'm going to have to resurrect the engine mounts brackets, because they've been cut off and these been added in. I've got two motors for it, trans for it, both 318 polys. So yeah, it's had some weird and wonderful things, like it's got some speakers and shit down in here, and all sorts of funny things going on. So, but all sorted out. It's got disc brakes off a later Phoenix. It's got reasonably new shocks in it. I reckon they probably put the new shocks in it for the variety brash. They feel pretty good. It's got new shocks in the back. What else can I say? It's got a few issues, obviously. The rust in the back. I think this is probably the worst part of it. Some rust in here, and on the inside of the guard, like on the inner bit. On both sides, it feels like it's sort of separated in there from probably the water being captured and dirt being captured in there, and it feels like it's separated. So I'll have to do something with that. There's some rust in the bottom of this door. Now the guy that I've bought it off, he's going to deliver the block, the other motor. The other motor was in a different address at the moment, so he's going to go pick that up for me. And there's two spare front doors off a 65, but unfortunately the door frames have been cut off them for one that somebody was going to turn around a convertible. And then there's some front guards of a 65 which I think are almost identical, but the 65 doors have still got all the glass in them, still got all the winding mechanisms in them, and the outer skin looks quite good on one of them, on both of them, from what I can see. So I'm hoping might be able to use the bottom part of the skin for to repair that door. What else? I'm not really sure about rust in the bottoms of the quarters yet. Feel to be okay. Not sure. It's had some strange things attached to the bumper. I think it's had big flags or something hanging off the back of it when it was driving down the road, and it's got had lights screwed on it fucking everywhere. Excuse the French. But it's like that's a radiator for it. Spare steering column, spare heater. And I've got a few other bits and pieces that aren't off it, that are off some Valiants. He sort of just threw a bit of stuff my way because he was sort of having a clean out of his shed, and he thought, I might better sell them to somebody that needs them, and hopefully maybe swap some bits to get this all up and running. There's some spare tail lights for a 65. They're basically the same but different. I think the sides, I wouldn't say it's great, but I think it's better for rust than the other side. It's got layers of paint on it. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I do not know. So yeah, like you can see these holes, they've had things drilled through it. So I'll go along there and clean this boot up and see what it's like. It's got quite a bit of flaky rust floating around inside it, so hopefully I can, when I get these out, hopefully I can do something to try and treat that. Otherwise I'll try and find another boot lid. It's got flaky paint around the back window, but it doesn't appear to be holy that I can see yet, but we'll pull the back glass out of it because like there's more bubbles there and there and there and there, so I'm going to have to go along and repair all that. Oh, and on there, like the rest of it, the rest of the frame of the boot where the lid closes down seems to be okay, just this back part unfortunately, but should be able to do something with it. I'll bend up some steel and whatever, and we'll pull it off and or something. I've got to get the backs of the seat repaired. The upholstery's not in bad nick. It's not mint, definitely not mint, but it's in pretty usable condition. Like this is that's the driver's seat. Like it's got a few little rips where it's been caught on the adjusters and stuff like that, but like it's not in bad nick, so I'm hoping that I might better get the top of the back seat repaired, and I'll do that one first anyway, get the top of that repaired, and then I'll try and get some of these other bits tidied up. The door panels are in not bad nick. They're not great, but they're in not bad nick, like they'll clean up. There's another dash pad. So this one's got there's a good spare dash pad for it. It's had a floor shift to put in it. It was originally a column, so we'll see what happens there. That's the heads for the motor. There's motor bits. There's like the sump. So yeah, it's sort of more I can sort of show you at the moment because unfortunately it's dark now. But yeah, I think we'll get it cleaned up, get all the paint off it. Oh yeah, bumpers are painted too, so we'll strip I'll get some paint strip and I'll strip the bumpers and see what's underneath. Hopefully, who knows, hopefully the chrome's okay. If it's not, we'll do something with that later on. I can't afford to get them re-chromed, but we might just paint them like a real shiny silver or something like that. Hoping to paint the car green. We'll go more into that later. Like you can see all the mouldings here being covered in paint too, like it's thick as, so I'm hoping that under the bumper might be the same. I might be able to detail it up and clean it up. So yeah, this is the next project. So it's power steer, power brakes, disc brakes. So yeah, should be entertaining. Hopefully over the next few months we'll get right into it and get it all cleaned up and stripped down and all the paint off it, and I'll probably start at the back and attack the major rust back there, and then we'll work our way to the front. And I don't think there's anywhere near the rust in the front half, so hopefully that might be well, we won't know until we pull the guards off, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad anyway. So we'll leave it at that, and yeah, this will be the the first new video of the new build. Right guys, see ya.